Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all doing? I'm Dr. Aldewan Tartt. Hey, have you ever wondered how to predict divorce? Today is going to be real. Y'all, I've been seeing couples for over 23 years, right? I've been doing this for 23 years. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna unmask and tell y'all something that's gonna be surprising. I've been seeing couples for 23 years, y'all. I've been a psychologist for 23, actually 25, because I got my master's right in 1998, right, but my PhD in 2020. So I've been seeing couples for over 25 years, y'all. Right, 25 years. All right. Hey, I see you, trendsetter. I see you. I've been doing this 25 years. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Within the first 30 minutes to an hour, I can tell who's gonna get a divorce or break up within 30 minutes to an hour. And I'm gonna tell you how I do it. Now, I don't have a magic superpower above other psychologists. All psychologists who are trained similarly to myself look for the same six things to predict divorce, right? The father and mother of this research, Dr. John and Julie Schwartz Gottman, can actually have predicted with accuracy 90 to 95% of all divorces. And they look for these six things. Sometimes they can do it within 7 minutes. 7 minutes. If I put you through a conflict, if I got you and your spouse to discuss a conflict that you're having, I would be able to figure it out, as well as my psychology, social work, professional counselors who have been trained now. They'll be trained at the highest level now. This is the highest level counseling. Now, not all counselors can do this, right? But those that are trained similarly to me, we're a tribe, are all going to diagnose you with the divorce or breakup, and they're going to look for six things. It doesn't matter whether you're a minister. It doesn't matter whether you've been married 25 years. It doesn't matter whether you have kids. It doesn't matter whether you have special needs kids. It doesn't matter whether you have multiple businesses. It doesn't matter whether you're a pastor. No one is immune to surviving these six things. No one is immune to describe yeah. All right. So for those of y'all that's tuning in, my name is Dr. Aldewan Tartt. I am a faith-based psychologist. All right. And this is where I merge psychology and ministry, and I meet you where you are. Even if you practice a different faith, I meet you where you are, because no matter what faith you have, whatever you ascribe to, we all want relationships to work. All right. I see you, Chris. All right. And I appreciate y'all. We all want this to work. We all want this to work. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what these six signs are. Right? I'm gonna tell you what these six signs are, right? So that you can, yeah. All right, there we go. I'm gonna tell you what these six things are, so that you can identify them in your marriage, so that you can identify them in your marriage or your relationship and keep it from breaking up. All right. So let's go. Are y'all ready? If y'all want me to tell y'all, let's go. Let's go. If you want this, let's go. All right. I appreciate it. All right. So let's go. Because I know time is of the essence. All right. Number one. Number one. So these are the six signs and predictors of divorce per the research. This is not my opinion. This is not my research. This is the research of an aggregate. That means all the couples who've been studied. This is what they found. Number one is a harsh startup. Write that down. Harsh startup. A harsh startup. Now, what does that mean? That means that when you have a difference of opinion, there's a harsh startup. Like y'all start arguing fast and hard, right? We call it a harsh startup. Now, why is that important? Researchers have done an analysis. And what they found is that the first 3 minutes of any disagreement determines how the future disagreement is going to go. Right? The first 3 minutes, you can cut the video off of watching a couple argue, and how they are at the end of that 3 minutes is going to determine where they're going to be in their relationship. And if you have a series of harsh startups, and what a harsh startup looks like, I can't stand you. All right, or hey, we need to talk about what? All you do is talk. Or you know what? I can't stand you. I hate you. You get on my nerves. Right? Are you so sorry? What kind of man makes his wife cut the grass? What kind of woman actually disrespects her husband like that? Right? It's a hard startup. Or it could look like a pre-argument. Hey, we need to talk about what? Why you have to have an attitude about what? Why don't you just say yes? Why don't you tell me we have to talk about? See, I don't want to do this. See, that's why I don't talk to you. Right? Because all you do, you talk about nothing. How I talk about nothing, you don't even want to talk. All you do is avoid. You a big old baby. I'm a baby. All you do is nag and complain all the damn time. That's why nobody want to talk to you. Well, maybe if I wouldn't have to nag and complain, maybe if you were better. Am I keeping it real? That's a pre-argument. Now, notice what did not happen. You don't even know what I want to talk about. You don't even know what I want to talk about. Right? For those of you just joining in, we're talking about the 6 signs that guarantee divorce with 90 to 95% action. 10% of you, 5% of you can survive. And I really think that 5 to 10% are people who are unhappily married. Like they're married, but they just stay together unhappy in different bedrooms, or they have totally separate lives, right? So the first one is a hard startup. So you're gonna have to start soft. You're gonna have to start soft on purpose. You're gonna have to be like a kindergarten or a first grade teacher, like, hey, we need calm down, relax, hey, let's talk. You're gonna have to start softly. You're gonna actually have to take some communication classes. You're gonna actually have to learn how to change, how to talk and say, hey, babe, we need to talk for a few minutes. I really need to get your ear on something. And then you have to respond and say, hey, baby, let me take a shower. And then as soon as I get out the shower, let's fix some tea. Or let's go outside in the deck, let's take a walk and let's talk about what's on your mind. I want to hear soft startup. We have a problem, but let's talk about it softly. All right. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me on that? Can y'all see how that would jack things up? And how many of y'all been there? I've been. Y'all saw how quickly I went into that script. I've been in relationships, y'all, where it just started fast. Did y'all ever see Any Given Sunday with Jamie Foxx and who was it, Regina King? That's probably the worst argument I've ever seen in my entire life. But that's how black folks argue in their dysfunctional states. Let me not even disrespect us like that. In the worst state, the Jamie Foxx Regina King argument in Any Given Sunday, you might have to go rent it, was the worst argument of all times, right? And it started fast, right? I would I would show you a clip of it, but it has so much cursing and it's so dysfunctional. I think it's going to be more triggering than beneficial. Plus, I think if you've been married for longer than 6 months to a year, you probably had one of these harsh startups. So why show you something that's going to be triggering when you can think about it in your own relationship? All right, number two. Number two is called the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. I know that's dramatic, but we're here for drama. All right. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And this is coined by doctors Gottman. I say doctors because it's John and Julie, husband and wife team, who coined this term called the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Right. And it's where in an argument, these four things happen almost all the time. Are y'all ready? All right, number one is going to be criticism. All right. Someone criticizes another person. All right. Number two is going to be contempt. Contempt is where you make a judgment. You judge your spouse. What kind of wife doesn't have sex with her husband for 2 months? What kind of man doesn't get a job while his wife works two jobs? Now, I'm not saying those are not problems, but can you see the tone? It's contempt. It's like, who, like, how sorry are you, right? You're so sorry. That's contempt. Three, defensiveness. You don't own anything. You know you dead wrong. You know you're dead wrong, but you don't own it. You become Mr. and Mrs. Attorney. Right. Well, what about you? You're not perfect. Or why are you focusing on me? Let's focus on you. Or I don't even do that all the time, but you really do it all the time. Right. You don't own. You don't accept responsibility for being imperfect. You don't accept responsibility. So the person you're in a relationship with is forced to live in a different land. Like you do make up the bed when you got, but you don't. Like you do pay half the bills if that's our agreement. Like you are faithful and you're not. Right? I'm supposed to not see the text messages. This is fake. All right. You're supposed to act like you get along with people, but you really don't. Your family doesn't even talk to you. And I'm married to you. Nobody likes you. But I'm supposed to act like you have these good communication skills. And when I say, hey, you need to go improve your communication skills, hey, you need to work in your self-development, You don't level up. You just watch me level up and then get mad at me for leveling up. You get jealous at me for leveling up. When you want to go pursue your dreams, you're all over the place. But when I say go take a course to go figure out what you want to do, go do X, Y, you get mad at me as if I'm not looking at the bank statements that show me bringing in all the money and you wasting it because you didn't go on the 9 different schools. I mean, I just want to keep it real, y'all. I'm on fire today because I want y'all to get it. I want y'all to get it. Matter of fact, someone type in the chat, I want y'all to type drtartt.com with 2 T's at the end, /events, because I want y'all to sign up for the 3-day prayer challenge. I'm doing 3-day couples prayer challenge where I'm going to help y'all. My wife and I are going to help y'all, challenge y'all to read the Bible together, get the word together, do a devotional together, and be inspired for 3 nights and be prayed by some of the best prayers in the world. So drop that in the chat. But because I don't want to pause this video, I should have done that and loaded it, but I forgot. So put it in, go to the website, drop it right there in the link, and I'll pin it. All right, go to drtartt.com /events, and then drop it in the chat, and then I'll pin it, and then y'all can sign up. All right. So number 2, and then okay, so we got criticism, contempt, defensiveness. The fourth of the fourth horseman is start stonewalling. Stonewalling is where one of you just shuts down. Now it's 80% men. 80% men. Okay, it's 80% men where you just shut down, right? And a lot of times men do it because you talk so well. I'm gonna let you talk to yourself. I'm not gonna even get mad. I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be stonewall. You finished or are you done? You done? We finished talking? Okay. Y'all see how cold it is? How many of y'all, just be honest, when your spouse does that, it drives you nuts, right? Mecca does that. It's 80% of men, 20% of women. I don't know where it is in like non-traditional marriages and relationships. Y'all can figure that out for yourself, right? So, but in heterosexual relationships, it's 80% men, 20% women, where they're stonewalling. And that's where you just shut down and like you're here, but you're not here. There's a stone wall between me and you emotionally, and we just shut down, right? So, all right, can you see? I mean, be honest. How many of y'all? I mean, how many of these four horsemen do you have currently? When you have a disagreement, which happens in all relationships and marriages, because you're not clones, you're gonna have disagreement. Should the kid get a piercing? Should you save? Should you buy a house right now when interest rates are high? Should you refinance back in the day when interest rates were low? Should you all go to counseling or not? Should you go on vacation? Should you pivot in your career or stay with the same thing and keep coming home arguing all the day because you hate your job? All right, whatever it is, whatever y'all disagreeing on, which is normal stuff, right? How many of the four horsemen do you have? You have criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. How many of those 4 do you have in your relationships? How many of those 4 do you have in your relationship? So I need you to count. All right. So do y'all see? I mean, I can stop right there and know that you're gonna have a problem in your relationship or your marriage. All right. I can stop right there. For those of you just joining in, I'm gonna recap. This is gonna be a long video. We're talking about the 6 predictors and signs of divorce, guaranteed, like based on their research. It's not opinion. Number 1 was the harsh startup. Y'all can go back and look at it. Hey, Black Bride, I see you. I appreciate all that you do. All right. First sign is a harsh startup, right? And the second sign is having these 4 horsemen when you argue. Instead of resolving the issue, y'all have criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling, some combination. And God forbid you have all 4. God forbid you have all 4, right? All right, number 3. Number 3. Let me know if this is good, y'all. Let me know. I mean, like, I am gonna save this on the platform so y'all can watch this later. Right? Send this to your girlfriends and homeboys when they call with their issues. Send this to your spouse so they can see it for themselves. I'd rather you see it so you can say, "Oh, snaps, we're in trouble. Let me go pivot." All right, Chris, I appreciate you buying a badge, man. Thank you, brother, and buying popcorn, y'all. I had a fundraiser for my daughter to buy popcorn. I appreciate those of y'all that saw it on Instagram. If you didn't get your popcorn, go on Instagram, click that story, and support baby girl. All right, but anyway, let me stay focused. All right, there's a little commercial. All right, real quick. Number 3. So we got number 2. Number 3 is called flooding. Flooding, y'all. Flooding. All right. I'm gonna see if I should be dramatic. I'm gonna be dramatic. All right. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all. All right, I'm gonna show y'all something, right? All right, so this is called a pulse oximeter, y'all. I'm gonna be a super geek. Pulse oximeter, right? And these are things we give couples if they come into the office to put on their hands, right? So we put this on their hand. If I turn it on, right, this thing probably needs some batteries in it. But anyway, yeah, there we go. All right, if I turn this thing on, right, it measures how your heartbeat, right? And I can tell, all right, when this thing goes off, it means you're flooded at 100 beats a minute. 100 beats a minute. When our heart beats at 100 beats a minute, it means we're emotionally flooded, and everything we say after that is going to be a problem. This is when we get snarky. This is where we get defensive. This is when we correct English, right? All right. This is where we interrupt people and correct them. You say never. Yeah. I just took you out to eat 2 weeks ago, so how could it be never? Right? This is when we start going off. This is when your man starts busting holes in the wall. This is when a woman starts getting up in your face. This is when one of you just completely shut down. This is when that sympathetic nervous system kicks in. Flight, fight, or freeze kicks in. So I'm just gonna freeze and not be here. I'm gonna act like this is not even happening. I'm gonna act like you're not even here. Passive aggressive. That's right, Circle of Pharaohs. All right. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna get up in your face. Either I'm gonna say fight words. I'm gonna take fight actions, or right after we start, I'm already gonna text that girl right after. Right, I'm deciding while we're arguing to text old girl or old boy. Right, all right, or I'm gonna fight. This a flight. This is when I'm gonna leave and I'll be gone. And wherever I go, I go. Right, and I'm gonna turn the light 360 off. You don't know where I am. You get what I'm saying? So when we get flooded, 100 beats a minute. No, if your relationship always has flooding, if one or both of you, it doesn't take both, if one or both of you is always flooded and going the HE double hockey sticks off, your relationship is not going to work. The other person can't take all that drama. No one, I don't care how much I love you. I don't care if I'm fasting and praying with you. I don't care if I'm in my word. From a life preservation standpoint, we can't be in toxic environments. Blood pressure. So you're going to have a dilemma. I see couples where they have a dilemma where the couple says, I don't believe in divorce. I don't want a divorce. But then they go see their primary care physician and they say your blood pressure is be ridiculously elevated. You have any stress in your life? Are you stressed? Yeah, they know where the stress is coming from at home. So you have to make a decision between having a heart attack, getting on high blood pressure medication, or getting away from the person that's always getting flooded. And church say amen. And God forbid both of you get flooded. God forbid y'all are Bobby and Whitney. Oh my God. God forbid both of y'all are Bobby and Whitney. If there's no one who's going to take the higher ground. If y'all both say, oh, you want to fight? Let's fight. Let's take it into the streets. Let's take our godly marriage into the streets. Let's drag it through the gutter. Let's do Jamie Foxx and Regina King in any given Sunday. Thank you, Missy, for buying a badge. Y'all get it. Let's do it. You see, I don't care if you're a deacon. I don't care if you're over the marriage ministry. I don't care if you're a bishop. I don't care if you're a clinical psychologist and a minister. None of us are immune. None of us are immune to this mess because the immune system is like, bruh, sis, I can't take this. I can't take this. And we only halfway. We only halfway. You can't take it. You can't stomach it. Your immune system is like, this not gonna work. So far, we've gone through half of the six. We've gotten a hard start up. All right, we know in the first 3 minutes, 96% of the chance that's gonna predict where you're gonna be. You start rough, you're gonna end rough. You start soft, you're gonna end soft, right? Four horsemen of the apocalypse. All right. When you argue, you have those four things: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling, that cause you to argue even more. And then three, you have flooding, where one or both of you is going off almost all the time or too much for the health of the other person. Like you go off so much, your attitude is messing up my life expectancy. Do y'all know that chronic stress produces cortisol? Look it up. Cortisol is a chemical, it's a hormone. You produce cortisol. Chronic stress, which produces cortisol that goes together, takes 10 to 12 years off of your life expectancy. So if you're going to live to 90, you're only going to live to 80. And you know we black, so all right, life expectancy was 70 something, whatever it is. All right. If you live to 70, I mean you're gonna die at 60. You're gonna have a stroke at 60. You're gonna have a stroke at 55. You're gonna have a stroke at 33. Why? Because you're in a toxic environment with someone you having to deal with all of the time. And no matter how much capacity you have to deal with, it is taxing you because this cortisol is in your body. And cortisol takes 24 to 72 hours to release from your body. You can have an argument and your body is gonna feel the effects of that argument. You have an argument at 9, you can be feeling it at 9 p.m. You may not feel it here consciously, but your body has felt it. Your kidneys feel it. Your blood pressure feels it. Your head feels it. That's why you can't sleep, right? And it only comes out through excretion. You have to pee it out, sweat it out, defecate it out. And I know it was a lot of great conversation for lunch, but y'all get what I'm saying. It's gonna have to come out some way, shape, form, fat. But if you gonna load you just gonna dump it in your body. You're gonna take stress and say, well, I put top on this. All right, stress. Come on, give me some more. I love you. I love you. Keep giving me more. Keep making my body sick. That's why people get divorces, even in the church, because they have to make a very real decision. I'm not gonna die and leave my kids here by myself. I'm not dying in the name of love, and this doesn't even fit the vows that we honor. We agree to have anyway. This really is not a godly marriage, right? I can't take it. I'm all out of whatever it takes to stomach this. There has to be a shift. All right. All right. Number three. All right. Number four, y'all. Number four is going to surprise y'all. Body language. When I saw this, I knew exactly what they were talking about. Now, if I was not a psychologist, I would not know. And I'm going to make this real for y'all. The fourth one is body language. Have you ever been in an argument with someone or discussing or having intense fellowship with the one you love and their body language triggered you? You ever been triggered by body language? All right. And body language looks something like that. Like, what's this look mean? What's this look communicate? Closed arms, defensiveness, space, contempt. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are you nuts? Are you stuck on stupid? Or it could be one of these. I have my phone, pretend like this is my phone. All right, you talking in the middle of the conversation. I'm like, I look at one. What the hell are you talking about? What you? I know y'all are triggered. Y'all get me. Have you ever been triggered the body language? Listen, let me tell you this. They did a lab where they took pictures of couples. They watched them, and they put the video on mute. Family, they watch couples on mute, and they had them actually code whether this looks is a look of contempt, right? They coded how many looks of contempt a couple had, and they could tell by the number of just looks how well that couple was doing. And they didn't listen to one word of the therapy session. Not one word, family. They didn't listen. The experimenters didn't listen to a word that was said. They just watched body language, and they could tell by coding. I'm not gonna geek y'all out, but I can show you a book where they coded. They developed a whole section where they trained experimenters and said these are the exact looks that you are looking for, and they all fall under the category of contempt. We call it stank face. When they saw a stank face, and sometimes a stank face is just like this. What's this look mean? To me, as I look at myself, this means, are you done or are you finished? Because this is ridiculous. Everything you're saying is stupid. Are you done or are you finished? We done. I don't care. Right? Some of y'all have a nasty smirk. If your partner has a nasty smirk, let me know. How many of y'all have they do something nasty? It might be subtle. Just a nasty, nasty smirk, right? That body language, you gotta watch it. I can tell you this. I've seen people more triggered by body language than I have anything that they say, right? I've seen people slap the phone out of someone's hand. They've been in the middle of the argument, the phone goes off, and they look at it. And I've seen people just smack it because the body language of looking at the phone versus looking at me in my eye when I'm telling you how I feel, and you have the nerve to look at a YouTube notification, a Twitter X, whatever that man want to call it, notification, an Instagram notification, an email from work is more important than me telling you about I want a divorce. Our kids are not doing well. We need to get money. We need to get life insurance. You really gonna look at the phone right now? I've seen people just the bulls race in their head. Have you ever been so angry the bulls race in your head and you the bull and you just want to matador your spouse? You sitting in the bed thinking about if they got hit by a bus, you just wouldn't care. You know, if you're the bus driver, you gonna speed up and hit them anyway. Y'all ever been there? Let's keep it real. You ever been like, ooh, if I was a bus and they walking across the street and I couldn't get caught and they had no cameras, I promise you, I'd nail them. How many of y'all would do that? Keep it real. Keep it real. How many of you in boxing, you just beat them up, but you wouldn't let them fall? You just want to beat them all 12 rounds. You don't want them to fall down. You just want to beat them to the point where you just beat them senselessly, but they never fall down to the very end. All right. I mean, y'all get it. Y'all get it. All right. So y'all been there, right? Yeah. Y'all say it's time to tap out when we get to that point. I would pack up the whole house over there. I get it. But what I'm telling you is that we really do deal with this, y'all. We're saying we'll pack up, but then that brain starts kicking in. 401k, half of the income, telling the kids, changing my status on Facebook, finding a new house. Interest rates right now in Georgia are 7%, right? While at the highest ever, right? The highest prices ever, right? Where am I gonna find another house? I'm gonna have to downgrade, right? We start thinking all these different things, right? Simultaneously, and then we double back. I'm like keeping it real, right? I'm just keeping it real, right? I'm just being honest, all right. But so you can see this. All right, so we're only on number four, y'all. Number four. Have I convinced y'all? I can stop right there, and you can say, look, I don't need to be a psychologist to predict divorce. I just need to see the six myself. Matter of fact, I want y'all to write these things down so that when your friends are calling you and talking to you, or for those of you that do couples interventions professionally or unprofessionally, I mean, like they call you and they come over and you look for these six, you can be like, nah, y'all not gonna make it, fam. Y'all not gonna make it. All right. Y'all not gonna make it. All right. I can see all these things going against you. All right, number five. All right, number five. All right. I don't want to give y'all headaches. I just want y'all to see it so that if you see it, you can stay away from it or you'll know to get intervention because black folks don't want to get therapy. My brothers and sisters of African descent don't want to get therapy. My brothers and sisters of Caribbean descent don't want to get therapy, but you want to have the six signs and you want to go ahead and get divorced when I'm trying to tell you the signs so you can go get it. I'm trying to tell you it's stage one cancer so you can go get you a little surgery. You can get some light chemo, some light radio action, or change your diet or whatever therapies they have, immunotherapy. All these things work. Let me do a stage one. I have a cancer scare, but y'all want to let it metastasize to stage four. Come in and see Dr. Tartt and other experts and talking about, well, this didn't help. Well, you had six signs for 12 years. Do you know that the average couple, especially of color, comes in 6 to 8 years too late? Like y'all should have come in 6 to 8 years ago before y'all let all this residue up, and you want us to be able to fix you in 1 or 2 sessions. The degree of difficulty is too high. Now we can do it. If you in for it, you want to change. Hey, I'm one of the best to ever do it. All glory to God. I'm giving that to God. I've been studying. I hope I'd be good at something after 23 years. All right. But it's gonna take a lot. It's just so much. Most people just like, look, I just can't. It's just too much. Too much bad stuff. All right. Yes, I'm gonna save this. All right. For those you have to go to lunch, I got you. I'm gonna save this and it's gonna exist on YouTube too, y'all. If you haven't joined my YouTube channel, when we're done, go to YouTube, just put in Dr. Tartt, YouTube, and bam, it's gonna come up. Subscribe, and y'all gonna be good. Y'all gonna be good. Subscribe to this channel because y'all might have seen this. I've done this probably 10, 12 times, different videos. I'm gonna keep doing it. All right, number five, y'all, because I need to get some lunch myself. Number five, failed repair attempts. Remember, I told you that psychologists can predict divorce with 95% accuracy. You know, it takes it from the 90 to the 95. All right, when you have the four horsemen, so remember that's criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling, which means shutting down when you're having a disagreement. Plus this fifth thing, the rate of divorce goes up 95%, right? It's called a failed repair attempt. A failed repair attempt. A failed repair attempt. A repair attempt is where one of you tries to repair the relationship. And what it looks like is, babe, I'm sorry, right? Or I don't want to argue anymore. But that's really sophisticated failed attempt. Do you know what repair attempts? I mean, you know what repair attempts actually look like when we looked at them in a lab? And I say we psychologists, right? When psychologists really looked at what repair attempts, because they did this thing called a love lab, y'all. They all went to Seattle, and the Gottmans actually watched these couples, and they had to live there, and they watch what they did. That's how they know what they're talking about. And when couples fought, they watched the ones who repaired. And a repair attempt looks something like you go from not speaking to not talking for a couple of days, and then one of you says, "You want something to eat?" Or "How's your mama doing?" Or more subtle, "Man, I heard it's gonna be 99 degrees in Atlanta and 108 in Texas and Arizona today." Right? Just random comment. You're just trying to you're just trying to break the side. Everyone ever been there? Everyone been there? I got you, car wash O2. Go get your money, y'all. I'm just gonna be up there. Anyone ever been there? Anyone that's been not talking and you just subtly just try to say something to break the you might cook. It could be anything, right? But when there's a failed repair attempt, that means you failed to respond. So either one, you failed to make a repair attempt. Both of y'all not talking. You, if you're not saying anything, I'm not saying anything. Both of y'all stubborn. Okay, that's gonna fail. But if one of you is like, yeah, you know what? It looks like it's gonna be a sunny day and you don't respond. Person cooks, you don't eat it. How many of y'all that petty? Someone cooks for you, you leave it right there in the refrigerator. I want them to see that the meal you cooked, I do not eat. Matter of fact, I want you to cook and I'm gonna come home with fast food or something. I'm gonna order Uber Eats while you're cooking. While you're cooking, I'm going to eat Uber Eats just because I want to be that petty, right? That's a failed repair. The person is cooking to try to repair, and you go order Uber Eats. That is a failed repair attempt. It is petty. It is immature. We've all probably done it, but if you don't get out of that, can you see how you are killing your own marriage? People just cannot take. So we're gonna argue. Hold on. We're gonna have a hard start up. We're gonna have all four of the four horsemen. Someone's gonna get flooded and go off. You're gonna have stank body language. And then when one of us tries to repair, you're gonna reject me. You're not gonna join the repair attempt. You're not gonna say I lost my cool too, or baby, I never should have said anything about your mama. I know that. You're not gonna join me in talking about the weather. You can't even do that. You love me so much. You know what I'm trying to do when I'm talking about the weather. I don't care about the weather. I'm just trying to talk to you. I'm just trying to get us from not talking. You can't even find the love in your heart to talk about the weather too. To say, oh, really? It's 108 in Texas or Phoenix. You can't even do that. You love me that much, you can't even do that. You can't communicate because your mom and dad didn't show you how to communicate. You can't even find the words to even respond to the repair. Am I keeping it real? I know I'm keeping it real, y'all. Do y'all get what I'm saying? And I want this to resonate. I want this to singe into your spirit and your heart, y'all. I want you to get it. I want you to get it. I want you to get it heavy so that you can see how if you do these six things, you gonna head for a breakup. Some of you never gonna get married because you can't get there because you had these six things. Some of you gonna ruin engagements because you had these six things, and some of you are gonna divorce. You may not do it now. You may do it 5 years. You may do it when the kids go off to college. You may do it when you're empty nesters. You may do it when when one of your parents passes. Some external stressor makes all these things even bigger. Not gonna happen. All right, y'all got it. And then number six, I'm gonna take y'all questions, and then I want y'all to enjoy y'all lunch, right? But make sure y'all go to my YouTube. Right? I've done a couple of podcasts, but I do a variety of different things on YouTube. So go to YouTube. That's where you're gonna get all the stuff. Just type in Dr. Tartt, two T's at the end. All right, but not to tease you anymore. So now you have to eat. All right, we've been covering the 6 predictors of divorce. If you missed it, go back and watch this video, send it to your friends. Number 6 is bad memories. Bad memories. All right. It's where you think about the relationship, the marriage, and most of what you think about are bad memories. In the science, we call it negative sentiment override. NSO. Yana, I see you. I'm gonna recap in just a second. Okay. It's called negative sentiment override, right? You know your relationship, your marriage is ending when you have NSO. That means that when you think about your relationship, the negative overrides the positive. How many of you ever been in a place in your marriage where you can't even remember what it feels like to be happy? You can't even remember what it feels like to want to make love to your partner. You can't even remember what it felt like to actually get along, right? You don't even remember, right? When you think about the relationship, it feels worse than what it really is because all you're thinking about is when you call me a bee, when you call me a ninja, when you didn't listen to me. But you listened to the same advice from someone else just to be paid. I cook for you, and you had the nerve to order Uber Eats and eat it at the table and look at me on slick in my eye. I got all dressed up in lingerie for you, and you act like you didn't see me. You act like whatever you were watching on TV was more attractive than your wife. The man coming in working hard, you didn't even say thanks for working hard. You just take the credit card and swipe, but you don't say, "Hey baby, how was your day? Is everything okay?" You didn't even notice that I was fire mad when I came home. You just asked for $40. I'm just keeping it real, right? Like you start, so that stuff adds up, y'all. That adds up. And when you have bad memories and they override your relationship, it hurts, right? So we actually have to tell couples that come in this office, and I know this is old school. All right, old school. I say bring in a scrapbook, bring in your marital scrapbook, bring in the time when you got scrap. Couples used to keep scrapbooks, keep pictures. Now I say, go to your pictures and go all the way back. Go in there and go to 2009 and look at y'all pictures together, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't, I forgot we like to go drinking at the bar. I forgot we used to go on vacation every year. I forgot." This is, there's a picture I show when my wife and I do workshops where both of us are lit. And I don't mean lit because neither one of us smoke, right? Or drink. I don't, my wife drinks, but I don't drink. I don't mean put her out there. I mean, yeah, y'all grown. I just don't drink, right? But we were both toasted. We both had some alcohol, right? And you can see it in our eyes. And I was like, early on, I was like, I remember that club, right? I remember that club. I remember we had to sit and drink water for an hour so that I could drive home, right? I remember that, right? That was crazy. That was a good night. I remember our man Cecil was the promoter and let us in, right? I remember the spot. I don't know what the club is now, but I remember the spot. I remember where we were. And I forgot that, right? In an argument, you're gonna forget those moments. You're gonna forget the family reunion. You're gonna forget the vacation. You're gonna forget the honeymoon. You're gonna forget the time when y'all made like rambunctious love, right? Like you just couldn't get enough of each other, right? You're gonna forget those times, and it's gonna be overridden by these times that's going on currently and the times that you put together that are negative. Right. And you're gonna feel it emotionally. You're gonna feel like, why am I married? I don't even know what it feels like to be married. I know that I am married, noun. I'm the noun married, but I don't know what it feels. I don't have the love feeling of a relationship or marriage. Do y'all get it? All right. So for you, Ayana, I'm putting pressure on you because you are requesting a recap of the 6 predictors of divorce. So y'all can thank Ayana for doing this because she wanted to tune in, right? When she wanted to tune in, which is what you're supposed to do. I'm just being funny, all right? Here are the 6 signs. We're going to recap 6 signs, predictors of divorce. And you can go back and look at this. Number 1, harsh startup. You start arguing rough. You start loud, you start rough, you start mean. The first 3 minutes is going to determine how that argument is going to play out. So you want to start softly. Number 2, 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. You have criticism, contempt, defensiveness, or stonewalling, which is basically shutting down, where I'm here, but I'm not here emotionally. I'm looking at you, but I'm literally looking through you. Like, could you move? I'm trying to watch the game. I'm looking at you, but are we done? Are we finished? All right. I have those 4 when we discuss differences. So we have a hard startup plus the 4 horsemen that ruin anyone's ability to resolve conflict. And then 3, you have flooding. One of y'all goes off often often. You either shut down, so you freeze, you flood. I mean, you shut down, you leave, so that's the flight, or you fight. You say vicious things. You physically get into it. You break something. You bust holes all up in the wall. You start calling your man out his name. You correct his English, right? You say love making been weak since last year. Y'all know what y'all do to psychologically damage people, right? You ain't been happy in 2 years, even in the bedroom, right? And y'all know what y'all do. Y'all drop those bomb souls that flood. So when you flood, so that's three. Right? Y'all can say that's enough right there. Number four, body language. All right, the body language sets you off. Like your body language, like a look. Y'all know. And I'm gonna be honest, how many y'all know in a relationship that look is cumulative? It's not the first time they do the stank face. It's the 16th time they do the stank face. That stank face signals to you that you can't stand that person. That stank face is so toxic, y'all. It's the matter of fact, of all of the four horsemen, contempt is the most dangerous. Like if you could get rid of one of them, right? You'd be like, let me get rid of the most dangerous one. It would be contempt. And contempt is that look like this, like what kind of man even talks like that? What kind of wife? Who are you? What are you? You really? This is really what you think? What? You talking to me? You shouldn't be talking to me. Look at you. Look at your sorry. You know what I'm saying? You get it? All right, today we're talking about the six predictors of divorce. All right. So that's body language. That body language will add up. And so like the 16th time you see that thing, you're gonna act like it's like an injury that's been someone has messed with your knee 15 times, and the 16th time you hit it, you're gonna give all that to the person. So you're gonna give them a 16x go off. You're gonna go off 16x when you see that stank face you hate. I'm just telling you. I'm just gonna tell you what happened. This is when couples start bazookaing each other, right? They're flooding in that body language. All right, you know what? You want to fight? I wasn't gonna say this. I ain't gonna say this, but you want to go there? Let me go there. Let me tell you. First of all, you come from a dysfunctional family. Your mama and your daddy all crazy. Your whole side crazy. You ain't got nothing but divorces all up in your side. Two, you are a terrible manager of money. All your friends have money. You ain't got none. Three, you the worst looking of all your friends. All your friends have good body mass index. They have good BMI. You over there obese thinking, but talking about wonder why I ain't touch you. Right. And then number four, y'all see, I can keep going. We can all keep going. This is what we do. We bazooka. And what we do is we end up traumatizing our spouse because we've been triggered. It's been too long. We didn't have good we didn't talk about this thing. You said no to counseling. We don't believe in counseling. So you let it load up so that when we finally start talking and you didn't tap sister girl, or you didn't tap my boy who quiet, you didn't tap them. He been trying to sit on it, and you be like, all right, this is it. This is it. Pow, 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 pow. I'm gonna shotgun you. Boom, 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 boom. And you come away from a relationship like, what you mean? And I ain't been happy making love in a year. I faked it. I faked it. That's why after we make love, I can watch TV right after. Y'all know what I'm talking about with TV. I don't say the words because I don't condone it. I don't endorse the P word, right? That y'all watch because I know the toxicity of it. That's not a moral judgment. I'm just talking about psychologically. You get tuned into that thing. We'll do that one day. You get tuned into it and you actually start wanting that versus your spouse, or you want it with your spouse. You can't even make love with your spouse anymore without the P, without the porn. You feel what I'm saying? All right. So that's why I have to go watch it, because when I'm with you, I don't even get happy. I gotta go watch the P after I'm with that stuff. That's when we really chopping at the core of somebody. You get what I'm saying? We start chopping them up. All right. So that flooding and that body language. And number five was a failed repair attempt. Failed repair attempt. One of you tries to repair the relationship, and the other one doesn't even respond. And you're just doing subtle, easy repair attempts, like want to get something to eat, want to go for a walk, or man, it's rainy outside. How's your mom doing? How's it work? We're just trying to break the silence. Someone has to break the silence. Who want to walk around not speaking to each other for 3 weeks? Come on now, after 2 hours, come on. Who going to work? We don't get that much weekend anyway. And how many of y'all ever argued on vacation? right? You have an argument on vacation, you want to get a repair tip quickly because I paid too much money not to make love on this trip. I ain't paid too much money not to have a great dining experience, right? Who want to sit next to you on the beach and not talk? Man, no, come on, no, no, no. We paid too much money. Someone need to say, look, I was being ridiculous at the bar. I drank too much. Hey, I'm sorry. I was a little too friendly. We were talking about something, and I spoke to her 30 minutes, and then I forgot I was supposed to come back and bring you your drink. I'm sorry. That was foul. All right. I apologize, babe. How can I make it up? How we gonna make love? How you want me to make love to you? You know what I'm saying? All right. And then number six, bad memories. Bad memories, negative sentiment override, where we have so much crap in our relationship, all I'm able to think about are the bad memories to where I don't even know why I got married anymore. I can't even remember. I can't pull it to consciousness right now why I'm married to you. I can't remember. I've forgotten. The muted positive is there. The positive is muted, and the negative is just on 10. It's on 10. Can y'all see? I'd like to give us credit as psychologists, but can you see it doesn't take a rocket scientist or a psychologist or a PhD or an MD to understand how these six sound? Now that you sit up there and look for it. And I'm saying that now you're educated, right? It's a lot more. I mean, it's a lot deeper than that. But these are the six. You can say, okay, they ain't gonna make it. Unless they switch these things, they may not make it. If you come in with all six of these things, I'm just like, good luck. You might be part of 5%ers, right? And I'll tell y'all one day like what those 5%ers tend to look like, right? And it's a lot of different things, of course. Yeah, but um, y'all get it? Y'all get it? All right. So I appreciate you, BJ. You said thank you. You can get through anything with help. You can get the help early. You see these signs, why wait? All right. So like you understand how do you keep from getting to this point? The minute you here's my rule of thumb. The minute you have three consecutive disagreements, go get counseling. Even if you have to go on your own, right? Like you can't let the lowest common denominator run the relationship. So like we would never let the person with the least financial fiduciary talent do the financial planning for the couple. That's not dumb. That's not wise. I almost said dumb. That's not wise. Why would I let you drive us into a financial wall? That makes no sense. All right. I'm gonna go see the financial planner by myself. And then I'm going to control the finances so that we can actually have something for a rainy day, so that we can know when to refinance, when to buy, when to sell. We can figure out how to 10x our income. We can figure out what's a wise investment and what's not. We can figure out what advice is for us and what's just for the gram, right? We can figure that out for YouTube, right? We can figure that out, right? Why would you let someone that doesn't want to go to counseling and we're arguing all the time stop you from going to counseling? You know how strong it is that you go to marital counseling and let your spouse be missing during marital counseling? Because when y'all say y'all split, y'all separate, y'all divorce, what's the first thing everybody? Y'all try counseling, you want to be like, yep, I did 12 sessions. Your brother didn't show up for any. Or I did 12 sessions. Your sister didn't show up for any. That's going to make them look terrible. All right. You'd be surprised how many people come in session 3, session 4. All right. I had a husband call me yesterday. All right. After his wife is gone and asking me what to do, but it was too late. Right? So you want to do this early. You want to do this as soon. It's like a basketball game. You want to go down 50 points, or you want to call timeout when you're down 8. Timeout. Let's fix this. Because if this go like this, we're gonna get blown out. Right? Timeout. 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 But you need to get your partner on that same page. We talking to men right now. Shouldn't we call a timeout when we down 6 or 8? Why would we wait till we about to get a divorce and separated and affairs and our resentment and I don't like you. I love you, but I don't even like you, right? Don't well, let's stop because we arguing on our honeymoon. Let's go back and get counted. We didn't do the premarital right. Time out, right? Look, the kids went away to school and we got a whole different marriage. A trauma happened in our marriage. Time out. The smart brothers and sisters do the time out. Time out. Let's go get this fixed. Pride is gonna kill you. Pride precedes the fall. All right, that's a biblical term, right? That's a church term. Pride precedes the fall. Before you fall, before you go, pride comes before, precedes before. I know y'all knew that, but I just want to break that down, right? So why would you have pride in your marriage? You just gonna wait for it to fall? No, I'd rather fix it. There's no pride. Why would I have pride and call it time out? Let's fix these things. If my wife and I argue 3 times, we're gonna see our own therapist. Right? If y'all want to know who he is, I tell y'all. DM me though. Because if I put it out there right now, he gonna be like, why you send me all these referrals? Right? All right. Yeah, we Mecca and I have someone. Like, what would you think? I told you my degree does not my counseling degree, my clinical psychology degree, my 25 years of training, me being a minister does not make me immune to marital problems. So we had these six coming up. Right, take time out, time out. Get Doc on the phone. Get a session as soon as possible. Hey, this is what's going on because we want to nip this in the bud. We don't want to go down 12. We don't want to be like other couples who've been married 25 years, thought leaders, written books, you know, speaking at conferences, and then we don't make it either. Like we're the same as them. Let's not have pride and realize it can happen to us too. It happened to really great people, and let's go ahead and call the time out and figure out what we need to do with this six. All right. So I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all buying badges and super stickers and all that kind of stuff. All right. And I know I was gone last week, y'all. Brother had to handle some business. All right. But I'm pretty much on my schedule Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at 1 p.m. Except I'm going a little bit later on YouTube because there's more people after work. So if y'all didn't subscribe, go to YouTube, drtart.com, and go to www.drtart.com /events and register for the 3-day prayer challenge. If you thought this was good, the prayer challenge is gonna be dope because I'm gonna bring in some different people. I'm gonna get you and your spouse reading the word together, discussing the word together, discussing your relationship together privately, and you have people praying for you. And I'm gonna give you this in an encouraging way. That 3-day prayer challenge is gonna be dope, right? Dope. All right. I see you laughing, Miss Super Nerd. No, I did not get the towel, and I did not get the towel warmer from a previous. I forgot about that. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that around Christmas. I'm gonna put that on my list for my wife to get around Christmas. All right. But I did get a new deck. All right, and I'm getting a new chandelier. So I'm on my way, y'all. We've been talking about remodeling. That's a whole nother topic, right? Hey, Angel. I see September's Angel logging in. Y'all, Angel pushed up on me at the grocery store. I don't mean push, she just came up like, what's up? I'm just playing. All right. So it was good to see you in the grocery store, Angel. I love seeing my people. If y'all see me in real life, I am not one of these people that's not gonna speak. Unless you're a client. If you're a client, I'm never gonna speak because that's a violation of your privacy. You would speak back, all right? But I enjoy having a good conversation about schools, and we had a good time. So shout out to you, Angel. Good to see you. And the funny thing is, y'all. Funny thing is, uh, uh, I call y'all by y'all's like whatever y'all's Instagram name is or Facebook name. That's funny, y'all. So anyway, it was good to know her real name is Angel. So I appreciate it, y'all. So it's all good. Hey, you know what, Marianne? I appreciate you celebrating my daughter with that popcorn. For those of you that got the popcorn, if y'all on Instagram right now, go to my story. If y'all got something out of this right now, go to my story, tap in there, right? And buy some popcorn for my middle daughter so that she can win this fundraiser, y'all. Just support teachers. If you don't even want popcorn, you can just push donate. You can donate to essential workers, y'all. So y'all go to my store when y'all get off this, bam, and buy Sister Girl's popcorn. All right, and 50% of it goes to the school as a fundraiser. That's how our PTA raises money to support the mental health of our teachers and our principals and our students and kids. If they don't have uniforms, we got them. But anyway, y'all got it. All right, look, we ask and pray, Lord, that you allow everyone that's watching this live, recorded, and that they sit down with their spouse, even if they're single. They say, look, we're not gonna have these six things, even while we're dating. Even when we're dating someone, I'm like, look, do you believe in these six things? If these six things happen, do you want to fix them ASAP? So we ask and pray, Lord, that you have your way to allow boyfriend and girlfriend, partners, husband and wife, especially sit down and say, hey, babe, let's get these six things out of our relationship, out of our marriage, so that we can thrive and be well. These things we ask in Jesus' holy name. Amen. Love you guys. See you soon.